In the quaint town of Willow Creek, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, stood a charming bookstore called Page & Co. The store was a haven for book lovers, with its vast collection of classic novels, rare editions, and cozy reading nooks. It was here that our story begins, with two individuals whose lives were about to intertwine in a way they never could have imagined. Emily Mayfield, a 25-year-old literature major, spent most of her days buried in the pages of her favorite novels. She was a hopeless romantic, always searching for inspiration in the words of the great authors she adored. Emily's life was simple, yet fulfilling, as she worked part-time at the local library and spent her free time writing her own short stories. Across town, 28-year-old Jack Harris, a successful businessman, had it all: wealth, status, and a thriving career. However, his life was devoid of passion and purpose. He had given up on love after a string of failed relationships, focusing instead on building his company into a success. Jack's world was one of boardrooms, meetings, and endless emails. One fateful afternoon, Emily stumbled upon Page & Co. while searching for a rare edition of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. As she pushed open the door, a bell above it rang out, announcing her arrival. The store was bustling with customers, but Emily's eyes landed on a handsome stranger who was struggling to find a book on a shelf. Their hands touched as he reached for a volume of Shakespeare's sonnets, and Emily felt an electric spark. "Sorry about that," Jack said, his deep voice sending shivers down Emily's spine. "I'm usually more coordinated than this." Emily smiled, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment. "It's okay. I've been there too." As they introduced themselves, the store's owner, Mrs. Jenkins, approached them. "Welcome to Page & Co. I see you two have met. Well, in that case, let me show you some of our newest arrivals." Mrs. Jenkins led them on a tour of the store, recommending books and sharing stories about the authors. Emily and Jack discovered they shared a love for literature and music, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Over the next few weeks, Emily and Jack found themselves returning to Page & Co's, each time lingering longer than necessary. They would discuss books, share recommendations, and laugh together over coffee. Their connection grew stronger with each passing day, as they discovered hidden depths in each other's personalities. Emily was captivated by Jack's wit and sense of humor, while he admired her intelligence and creativity. As they spent more time together, Emily began to see beyond Jack's business persona, glimpsing a kind and vulnerable soul beneath the surface. Jack, too, found himself drawn to Emily's passion and enthusiasm, feeling alive for the first time in years. As their relationship deepened, obstacles began to arise. Jack's high-powered job demanded more of his attention, leaving him little time for Emily. He struggled to balance his work and personal life, fearing he would lose his business or his reputation if he wasn't constantly available. Emily, meanwhile, faced her own doubts. She was hesitant to commit to a relationship with someone who seemed so different from herself, a businessman versus a writer. What if their love couldn't survive the pressures of Jack's career? One evening, as they sat together in the bookstore, discussing their fears and insecurities, Emily confronted Jack about his priorities. "I feel like I'm losing you to your job," she said, her voice trembling. Jack took a deep breath, his eyes locking onto hers. "I know it's hard for me to balance work and life, but I promise you, my love for you is what matters most. I want to find a way to make this work, together." Emily's heart swelled with emotion as she realized Jack was willing to change for her. In that moment, they both knew their love was worth fighting for. With newfound determination, Jack and Emily worked together to find a balance between his career and their relationship. They made sacrifices, prioritizing each other's needs and supporting each other through the ups and downs of life. As the months passed, their love continued to grow, nourished by their shared passions and values. They found joy in the simple things: long walks, cozy nights by the fire, and laughter-filled conversations over coffee. One day, as they sat together in Page & Co., surrounded by books and memories, Jack turned to Emily and said, "You're my favorite chapter in life's story." Emily smiled, her eyes shining with tears. "And you're mine." In that moment, they both knew their love would last a lifetime. A love born in the pages of a bookstore where words came alive and hearts found each other.